Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Let's Design Cities Skylines. My name is Victor and we are back at Cedar Valley where we're taking a look at one of the builds that we did in the previous episode. This lovely semi-underground freeway. I guess it's not really underground because the buildings in the back are, above ground. And in any case, welcome back. In this episode, we're going to be working on expansion. I really want to get this milestone of 100,000 Sims living in this city, and that will complete sort of the milestone to start working on the airport. So I want to get started with that right away. And in this episode, we're going to change the format a little bit. I'm going to start by doing some work on camera, and then the other, half of the episode will be time lapse with commentary. I have a few things written down here that I want to talk about. But let's just focus first on this bridge that's showing up in front of our screen, this pedestrian overpass. And let me just stop the fake cinematic, I guess. All I'm doing is just scrolling the screen sideways, by the way, in case you were wondering. But let me exit out of the camera mode. And what I want to do, we talked about this bridge this overpass in the previous episode and figured out that it was a bit too tall. So what I'm going to do is just bring it down a bit. And I think, so right now it's 12 meters high, which is kind of huge. I have a truck here for comparison. You can see that this thing is rather big. So maybe we can bring it, I was playing around with this off camera, and I think we can bring it to like 6 meters. Might be a bit too, it's still tall enough that trucks and things can go over it, but it seems like it's a bit too close to the ground. So I'm thinking going 9 meters. Let's actually go ahead and do it. So we're gonna delete this segment, I think, yeah. And instead, let me go into this menu, and we're gonna go, so 10 meters, I don't want 10 meters, 5 meters. What's going on here? I think we need to turn this on. There we go. So we want 3 meter increments. And I guess this is kind of messed up now. So I guess we'll go in 1 meter increments. So this is 12 meters, perfect. I think we can bring it down to 9 meters. Let's see how this looks. We're gonna get rid of you, and we're just gonna, hopefully we can, there we go, get the segment snap. And this is not at an angle, it seems. Hang on, let's do this right. If we use this and go up by 3 meters, 4 meters, let's actually go 6 meters just to see how it looks. As you can see, it works, but it's a bit too close to the ground, in my opinion. Even the light pole kind of, yeah. So definitely 9 meters. 9 meters is the way to go. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So go about here. That's right, 9 meters. And I guess these two are not aligned, but it's okay. Okay, so we're gonna go, let's extend this a bit further out. That seems about right. So I was just thinking whether or not we should have a more gentle slope up, but I think that this works. So I'm gonna keep that. Let's get rid of that thing and pretty much do the same thing over on the other side. Might as well just delete this one because it's easy if we want to rebuild it. Just want to get it there so that when I do this, is this really 90? Oh, okay. I was just looking at it from the wrong angle. There we go. That's not too bad. And last but not least, connecting that over there. There seems to be a lot of noise outside my window, so do not mind that. But that looks rather nice. Let's see if we can get rid of that light in there. Let's see. I guess what I wanted to do is sort of, here, let's turn bending off. Connect this here. And this segment right here, get rid of it. And now turn on the default light. Get rid of this. And that does it. So we have one light here, another one here, and none in the middle, which is what was bothering me. And there you have it. We have a really cool connection here. Let's figure out, there was a path kind of going this way, right? Yeah. All right. So let's connect that back in. If I'm not mistaken, there's this path kind of goes, oh, interesting. I completely forgot I did this. But this totally works. Let's go full speed and see what happens. Seems like people are using it. Not this stretch in particular, but the overpass over here, which looks awesome. Even though I'm losing a lot of, I'm dropping a lot of frames. It's not your internet connection. It's literally my game. So it's way better if I just point towards the mountains instead. But that looks lovely. All right, moving on. So another big thing that I wanted to tackle before we move into time-lapse is adjusting the taxes. Because I mentioned this in the previous episode, and I increased it from like 9% to 10%. But I got a couple comments in the previous video saying that I can take it to 12% and people won't really complain. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I want to do this now because I'm sure some people will leave my city, and the 92,000 people that we have here is probably going to be reduced. However, we're going to offset that with the future expansion of the city towards this side, which, by the way, let me tell you what I'm going to be doing in a few moments. What I want to do is start expanding. So this type of neighborhood, maybe not so much with all these organic roads, but I want to have these types of houses. Let me try to zoom in so you can really see what's going on. This is the UK theme style, which I like. I think it's really like simple, and it gives us a lot of room to like add decorations and whatnot. And we're going to carry over and sort of start filling this whole area. I'm not sure if I'm going to go towards this side of the mountains just yet, but I do want to start filling some of these areas. We also have to extend this railroad track that kind of ends abruptly here and carry it over to this side, because I think at some point that is going to connect the to the airport maybe, or to some of these areas anyways. So we definitely want some train stations around here as well. And I was just remembering that we also have this station with a dead end track here that we can easily continue. So okay, so those are some of the things that I need to keep in mind for this. I'm not entirely sure. I think this is a cargo line now that I think about it, and this is a passenger line. So I might want to bring them together somehow and, I don't know, develop the train connection over in this side. But yeah, this is all coming. And you can already see that I'm making quite a bit of profit. You might remember this building from a while back. Actually, it was one of the first buildings that we worked on when we started developing this area of the city. And we ended up with this triangle-shaped area, or this triangle-shaped block, I mean. And just the hospital in the middle looks okay, but I think we can do a much better job by adding a few little details. Now, I mean, I'm not going to go crazy with this. Just add a few details here and there and sort of integrate it with the neighborhood around it. One of the things that I wanted to do first is maybe put down a medium-sized clinic. I know there's going to be a lot of hospitals in here, technically, like for the game. But in terms of aesthetics, I just consider this to be one single hospital. And usually what happens is hospitals, I've noticed that they have like one main building, and then they simply have kind of other smaller buildings that kind of spread around. And this is sort of the case. I'm thinking of putting a clinic down there. The color of the day the shadows don't really do it justice, but I guess we can just go like that. That's a nice little building over there, and it fits sort of the architecture style for this, so it works for me. And another thing that I wanted to add is maybe a pharmacy. Now the question is, I think I want to put it there. Actually, that's a great spot because it matches the angle from the main building. It sits right next to the subway station, which would get a lot of foot traffic for the pharmacy itself. And yeah, overall, I think that looks rather nice. So the next thing that I wanted to do is, I was going to use this tool, but instead what I'm going to do is just use the brush, because I haven't used that in a while. I mean, I use it. I think I actually used it off camera not so long ago, but maybe in the previous episode. But what I want to do is I want a straight line here. So that the subway concrete texture kind of goes straight up, and instead of, because if I go with the surface painter tool, it's aligned to like some underground grid that is not necessarily the one I'm using. So I want to do that. We'll come back to that corner in a moment. And over here, I guess we have a few options. We can either convert all this into parking lots, which is definitely a possibility. But instead, what I think I'm going to do is go for a more green aspect. And basically, I want to maybe surround this with fences. So let's go ahead and find some fences. Let's go fence. And let's see. Let's find something that looks nice and it's not something that I used all the time. I don't have that many, to be honest. I was thinking of using this black one. This one looks a bit too industrial area. Short chain link fence. What is this? Ooh, interesting. This one could work. Move it in place. There we go. So we have this whole area fenced out. We can even get rid of maybe this one, and this will be the entrance path for the ambulances. Actually, I don't think I have any ambulances that I could just plop. Maybe, hopefully. Yeah, no. So what I want to do here is bring the size of this brush down and just like come up with like patches of dirt like so. Something like that. Maybe, yeah, get rid of some of them, like roughen it up as much as we can. It's so difficult with this, the surface tool thing. But let's also try to bring the sidewalk back in. And what we're going to do next is just put down some trees. In fact, I'm going to use this as a reference. You'll see in a moment. Let's see if this works, because it might not work. Also, by the way, I downloaded a lot of, not a lot, but just a few. Like, look at this beautiful fern. Oh, it comes in bigger sizes too. It's amazing. I love this. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it on this one building, but I definitely want to, add it in various places. Let's start with the vanilla trees. Something like that. Now that we have that in place, let's find, let's see, some of the, large oak always is a good choice. We also don't want to block everything, because otherwise what's the point, right? You might as well just fill it with trees and you can't really see the ground, but I also want to have some of these super tall pines. I love these pines are amazing. I really, really like them. Maybe put them right next to this. Only do 2 of those. No need to do any more. And maybe we can just add a few of these little, what's the name of this? Oh, there's more. These are pines as well. All right. So something like that. And then, that's it. All that's left to do, I think, is just add some tables. I'm going to pause the game because we don't really need to be running the game for this. Prison table. Nice. Yeah, we're definitely using the prison table here. There we go. Fantastic. And let's just put it over here, and over here we can do a third one right in the shade. One over there, and another one over there. Fantastic. That looks epic. That's amazing. It's so simple too. Let's improve the ground texture of this really quickly. So we're gonna use the fallen leaves just to like roughen up the edges of this thing. This usually really helps with creating kind of a seamless texture around your constructions. Some of these rocks also help quite a bit. I've never actually used this to a point because they're like so heavy. This will probably work better on like a shoreline maybe, but for areas like this is probably enough. There we go. I think we also need some like separation here because it makes no sense that you'll have picnic tables right next to a hospital parking lot, right? So let's find, maybe we can put one of these curves in here that are long enough, and this will probably be enough separation from one construction to the other. what if we bring it... actually, you know what? Let's go for the solidine planters, mainly because you can stack them on top of each other and build a longer one. Because I want to start the thing from up here. So let's scroll a little bit. I think, yeah, maybe this super long one. Actually, let's go with the square one. I've never used this. Oh, yeah, this is perfect. Okay, so we're going to use this one. We're going to start right on the edge. And we are going to extend it to right about there. Oh, man, that really kills me. Come on. It's not perfectly aligned. It just bugs me so much. That's better. All right. And now that we have that, let's see. We're going to need some sort of a separation between these things. So I think I'm going to use a combination of bushes, but maybe not that one specifically. It's actually not bad. That's a nice separation between the different things. Let me go search for a fountain. I want to put like a little fountain somewhere here in the park. Not that, just something smaller, something like this. Put another one there. That's it. I think I'm not going to touch this area anymore. What I am going to do is now look for some bollards, actually. You know how much, I mean, I've been using this like crazy, but I'm going to use this ones that are lit up. Actually, let's take a look at nighttime. Are these, or, oh my God, these are amazing. All right, so let's, this could actually work great for the airport, to be honest. So we're going to extend this by about that much. This parking lot is so close to the road that it's really making it difficult for me to do things. But that looks nice. It almost looks like floating lights. Let's see how it looks during the day. Not too bad. Yeah, that works. And we're going to do the same over on the other side. Let's see if we can get the right angle. No. There we go. All right, fantastic. So that is, so whoa, the camera just went everywhere. So that's looking pretty good. I'm actually really excited about how this looks. So all that's left to do now is, take care of this little corner. So let me play a little bit with it off camera. I'll be back in just a second. So after a few hours of me tinkering and adding details and props pretty much everywhere, I came up with this simple design. I decided to extend sort of the parking lots because obviously such a massive building will require a lot of parking lots. And this is probably not even enough. But I also don't want it to like fill the whole area with parking lots as well. So I wanted to just keep things simple. Added a few planters, a few trees, some fallen leaves on the ground, just to add more detail to it. I integrated the subway station with a toilet and a couple of news stands, and I extended the texture, sort of marking the area around the subway station, which actually fits rather nice with this angle planter here, and the pharmacy kind of draws a straight line in between the two things. And I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy. I also put down some more planters here as well as here. So this whole area now looks like it's owned by the same company or organization, I guess. But yeah, I think that pretty much completes this little lot. So now it's time to cue up the music. There we go. And, do some time-lapse action. It almost feels like this segment of the videos is turning into a bit of a podcast, which I think is actually a lot of fun. I get to talk about many things that are not strictly related to what I'm building on camera at every given time or every moment. But if there's something worth pointing out of this time-lapse session, which, by the way, was about 4.5 hours long, I will make sure to, point out, whatever it is that I'm working on. In any case, I have a whole list of topics that I want to go through in this several minutes that we have to chat about various things, obviously usually related to Cities Skylines. First things first, at the beginning of this episode, I'm sure you remember because it literally happened seconds ago for you. I increased the taxes to 12%, and as I was building all these things during the time lapse, I noticed a lot of buildings becoming abandoned and people complaining, especially little like low density shops complaining about how high the taxes were. So I decided to lower some of the brackets down, not brackets, but like some of the commercial areas, like low density and as well as residential, to like 10% and 11% respectively. It seems like they stopped complaining all that much after that. We're obviously on the red now, but I think we're really close to breaking even anyways. I'm sure we'll take, another 5 episodes to break even as we keep zoning more and more neighborhoods. But, obviously money is not an issue, but it is one of the objectives that I wanted to achieve before the series is over. Just want to get that out of the way. Now, let me talk about the custom textures that I've been using. I've recently been getting emails and tweets and comments throughout from people asking me, what's the theme that you're using for your textures? I'm not using any themes. I literally created these textures either from scratch or are modified versions from other people's. So what I haven't done recently is update my website because all these textures, when I first started the city, I did upload all these textures to my website, but I haven't done that ever since I updated the textures. So by the time this recording is out, the zip file that you can see on my website will be updated. You can download it there. Go to stricttoaster.com, scroll all the way to the bottom. There's going to be a pink box that says City Skylines, and there's going to be a link right there to download all these textures. Obviously, in order to use those textures, you're going to need the terrain texture replacer mod. If I remember, I'm going to try. If I can remember, I'm going to try to put the link in the description of this video so you can get it from the Sting Workshop. There's make sure to read the description because it basically what you need to do is put the images from the zip file that you're going to download from my website. There's a whole bunch of PNG files, and you need to drop them on a specific folder. And that after you boot up the game, after installing that mod, I guess, the textures will replace the default textures. So that's pretty much how it works. It's really simple. Now, let's see what else is on my list. Oh yeah, this is a big one, and I'm sure pretty much 100% of you already noticed this. Well, actually, that's not true. If you're new to the channel, you might not notice that I have new thumbnails. I changed, I guess. The Strict Toaster Corporation decided to change the thumbnails. Look, I already got some comments on Twitter about this from people who noticed, because I did this change on Monday, I think, or on Tuesday. I basically updated every single thumbnail from every single video in this series since episode 1 all the way to episode 35, which is this one. And we used to have, in case you don't know, if you're new to the channel, if this is way into the future, we used to have like a gradient, like a very colorful gradient that used to cover the entire thumbnail, like the actual screenshot of the game that I picked for every single episode. And it basically said, let's design Cities Skylines on the episode number. Now it's much more simpler. It just says episode number and the color of the series. I still want to keep every single series color coded, so that way you immediately know what I'm about to do. Obviously for Cities Skylines, it's the bright pink that I've been using since episode 1 as well. But yeah, the whole point of me changing is because, don't get me wrong, I loved my previous thumbnails. I've seen many channels on YouTube that pretty much use literally the same design that I chose a while back, and that's, to me, it's like amazing. I love it when people just get so excited with something that I made that they do it on for their own projects. So I'm not mad or anything like that. But the issue with all thumbnails is that the whole gradient used to cover the actual screenshot of the game of whatever it is I had built for that episode. And that was kind of I feel like the screenshot of what I did is it's a much better representation of what you're gonna see in the video than just a gradient of color with the title. You can still, if you're looking at the search results, you can still read the title, like, hey, this is Cities Skylines right next to it. So I don't know. I feel like the thumbnail alone, like the screenshot alone, is a much more engaging hook for especially for new viewers who don't know who I am. So we're gonna try this out. It may not work. It may work. This is the third time I changed the design of my thumbnails. Remember, this channel is also 3 years old, so I think once a year is not too bad. And it also matches the redesign of the graphics that happened a few months ago. A little better, I think. But I also have to, at this point, yet to update. No, that's not how you say it. I have yet to update, that's how you say it, the Planet Coaster thumbnails. Probably by the time this video comes out, I might have already done it, but yeah, we'll see. If it doesn't work, we'll change them to something else. But for the time being, I'm going to keep that and see what happens. Hopefully you like it. Let me know what you think in the comments, because maybe with your feedback, we can do an even better version of this. All right, next thing. This is kind of related to what I was saying a moment ago. I'm very active on Twitter. I don't probably say it enough during the videos. I know I always ask for likes and subscribes and everything, but you should also follow me on Twitter, because and obviously you can like my Facebook page too, which I'm somewhat active there, but not as active as Twitter. Twitter, I'm like pretty much I reply within minutes or within hours if I'm sleeping, but a lot of people have been like sending me screenshots of their cities, and I retweet them, and then we have like other viewers can like look at them, and we can have discussions about it. That's usually what happens on Twitter. I know most of you may not have Twitter accounts, or if you do, you don't even bother opening. But that's, if you really need to get a hold of me, Twitter is probably the best way, and I really enjoy talking to everyone on Twitter. So it's just the best way all along, because sometimes YouTube comments get lost in the ether. There's so many of them. It's really hard for me to keep track. But if you really want to get your message to me, Twitter is probably the best way. And I highly encourage you to go follow me, twitter.com/StrictToaster. And you can also like my Facebook page, facebook.com/StrictToaster. Pretty simple, huh? All right, let's see. Yes, so between the first part of this video, when I was recording the first part of this video, and this time lapse, I had a bit of an issue. So my game wouldn't load at all. Like, it would just crash. Like, I would double click on the shortcut and it would just crash. And after tinkering for quite some time, I ended up disabling and enabling mods and whatnot, and I managed to get it to run. But I don't know, it's in a state that it's pretty fragile right now. What I mean by that is, so for example, if I want to get the game running today, let's say I open up the game, did something, close the game, and if I want to reopen it again, I need to restart my computer, because otherwise the game won't launch anymore, which is kind of frustrating. And not only that, it's kind of scary too, because I knew this was something that could have happened. Me not being able to open up this save game, which is several months in the making. But now, I was confronted with the actual reality of this when I couldn't. It took me hours to get the game to run. Yeah, which means what do I mean by this? I guess is I may not want to continue the city too much into the future. Don't get me wrong. I want to finish the things that I promised that I was going to finish. We're going to do the airport. We're going to do farmlands. We're going to do little rural towns in the mountains. But after that, I think I'm going to try to wind things down and start another city with a lot less mods. Mods are amazing, and yeah, everything's great, but unfortunately, it's really, everything is so finicky that one little mod can just destroy months and months of work, and that's really something that I can't really afford. I mean, imagine how we feel. I mean, this happened to Corrales, from what I know. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I know he stopped doing his Cities Skylines series, and I think it's because Flux was telling me that it's because of the mods that he was using. Like, his game wouldn't boot up anymore. So I really want to avoid that, to that extreme. I really want to try to finish the city to some degree that I'm happy with, and but I might not fill the whole map, because that's something that I was considering of doing when I started this, but it seems like that will take too long, and more updates. Every update of the game means that there's a risk of me not being able to go back in. So like I said, I managed to get the game to run again. I probably, like, if I reinstall everything, it might work again, because it seems like there's some sort of caching issue that it's messing up with my game or something. I don't know, because I did try one of my save games on my office computer, and it worked. So that tells me that there's clearly something wrong with my installation, and I don't know, it's something that I need to figure out. But also, like, reinstalling the game, it gives me the chills, because what happens if we cannot recover this? I highly doubt that it will get that bad, but it's a risk. So yeah, that's it. Now, one important thing that I wanted to talk about now that I mentioned the airport. So remember when I was saying that we will do the airport if we hit 100,000 Sims living in the city? Well, it turns out that at the end of this episode, we won't reach 100,000 Sims. Even though I did two full neighborhoods, that wasn't enough, I guess, for the game to give me that amount. But I'm happy to announce that I decided to do the airport in the next episode. Well, actually, sorry, in the next couple of episodes, because I don't think we're going to be able to fit that in one single part. It's going to be mostly time-lapse with commentary, so stay tuned for that. But there's so much work that we need to do on that front. I mean, we need to, like, connect the bridge that it's currently in the middle of the river, not connected to anything. There's a massive freeway interchange right next to it. All of that needs to lead to the entrance of the airport. We need to do obviously the layout of the airport, all the runways. We also might need to do some terraforming to adapt the island to fit the airport better. So I mean, there's a lot of work that needs to be done before we even get started on that. And it seems to me that it will take at least 2 episodes, maybe 3, to get it all detailed and everything to a point that I'm probably happy with. Also, don't know if I'm gonna keep the airport alone or do like a little neighborhood around it, because the island that we decided to, or that I decided, I guess, or where I'm gonna put the airport on, it's really massive. It's really big. I was looking at it off camera the other day, actually laying down some runways and things just to measure it, and it's big. It's really big. So I don't know. We might have some tiny little town in there, or maybe some industrial area with warehouses, something that makes sense next to an airport. I guess anything could be next to an airport, but just so you know. Finally, as we are approaching the end of this time lapse, I wanted to ask you for a favor. So there should be a card popping up on the top right corner of your screen if you're on deck. So if you're on mobile, I don't know if you can actually see this, but basically this is a poll that I'm running, and what I'm asking you on that poll is, I want to know what quality do you usually watch the videos on? I do, most of my videos are 1080p, 60 frames per second, but I know some of you don't have super fast internet connections, and sometimes you really can't play those formats. I even have some series that are 4K at 60 frames per second, so I'm sure very few of you can actually watch those, but I'm just future-proofing my channel, I guess, in a way. But I really want to know what is your average resolution. So go vote on the top right corner. There should be a little card popping up, and let me know how that how do you watch your videos? You switch to like 720 or like even less than that, and that will help me prepare the videos in a more efficient way. And I think by that it's time to do some cinematics here. This is I'm really happy, by the way. I guess I haven't talked about anything of what I did during this episode, but this is really a good time. So we have this two very similar neighborhoods. We have the main, what am I calling this? The Nation's Plaza or something like that. I can't remember. It's basically a nice, beautiful roundabout with a statue in the middle and all flags surrounding it. And it's sort of in the center of this new low-density neighborhood that's very much surrounded with trees and foliage. One of the things that I'm actually really excited about is this little water pump plant that you see in the background there. I noticed that we're running short on water, so I went ahead and put one of those down and decided to go, a little bit more detailed in it. So I created that custom fence all around it, and that stretched into that little triangle gap in between the train tracks, which it's kind of lovely. You can still kind of maybe see it in the background there to the right. Anyways, you may notice that I've been doing this like tiny little commercial areas, like very like Main Street, like 2-3 blocks of Main Street with shops on both ends or on both sides. I mean, and I think I love that design. I think it totally fits this type of layout, especially when you have a lot of like low density houses. And I just couldn't be happier with how this whole area pretty much turn out. And also, like, it's such a nice gradient between like the really dense 2-3 level story buildings that you see to the right, extending into the mountains, as it's kind of like a green gradient, if you will. And that's kind of what I was aiming for. So I think it's turning out amazing. And obviously we're going to have a lot more of these types of neighborhood as we approach or as we expand the city on pretty much on every single direction. And like I said before, unfortunately we didn't manage to get to the right population, but it's okay. We're close enough. I think the current population varies between 90,000 and 95,000, so we're not that far away. And also, like, 90,000 even is a pretty significant population. This is, by the way, the other main street that is sitting right next to the train tracks. The whole area with the train station and the little commercial strip is just, I love it. I think it turned out amazing. I was also using sandboxes for planters. I took this idea from Flux because I really wanted a small planter. And the ones that I was using are pretty much huge. So by using the sandbox, you can just get to that super tiny, cute little sandbox or planter, I mean, and put like little pines in it. I think it totally make that neighborhood look amazing. But I mean, I'm really excited for the next episode. The airport is going to be a huge project. Something that I've been looking forward to a long time, and I'm sure you did too. So if you're excited for that, if you really can't wait to watch the next episode of Let's Design Cities Skylines, please go ahead and like this video. I want tons of likes to get all pumped and motivated to do the most amazing airport we can. I have so many ideas and so many assets ready to be plopped down. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and also check out the full link in the description for the playlist in case you might have missed an episode. But that's all the time that I have for now. I want to thank you all for watching. Really hope to see you in the next one.